Hi everybody, my name is Buffy. I'm bringing this video to you live as a part of my nap time series that is part of my 300-hour teacher training with Edge Yoga School. Each of the teacher trainers is asked to bring content digitally to the table, the community of learning. So this is my contribution, and I am so thankful to be here offering content and learning from all of your content. So thank you. Today I'm talking about something I'm super excited about, which is hosting yoga retreats. It is something that I just started this year, 2020, quite a year to start travel and retreats. But nevertheless, I have sold out 3 retreats, and there's a lot that goes into them, and so I'm really honored and delighted to be bringing everything that I have learned that I could put down in words for you today, so that in case if you're interested in hosting retreats, maybe you can learn from me rather than learning the hard way. So definitely do a lot of research if it's something you're interested in and you have not done yet. There's a lot online to teach you about the ins and outs of hosting retreats and the best ways to go about doing that. So today I'm just going to be going over the why you would host a retreat, who you would host it for, where, what, and how. So that's the layout of this video today. And before I get started, I do have one retreat that has not sold out yet, and that is next March. We're going to Maui. So I have rented out this really beautiful eco garden and retreat center. It's called Haleakala, and it's really close to the national park there. And we're going to be focusing on the power of compassion. I'm co-facilitating this retreat with my good friend Debbie Kermeen. She and her husband build elaborate and beautiful labyrinths all over the world. They are members of the board of the International Labyrinth Society, and they're incredible people. But Debbie will be joining me on the 6-day, 5-night retreat. We're going to be staying at the Eco Garden Center. We have holistic catering being brought just for us. Just an amazing campus where we're going to be staying, and sound healing, labyrinth walk, sacred ceremony, opportunities to ground yourself as we volunteer to garden in some of Maui's lush sacred gardens. Yeah, super close to Haleakala National Park, which I've heard the sunset there is to die for. So whale watching, and another community service opportunity to help pick up any litter on the beach as we visit the beaches of Maui. So yeah, and then there's excursions and surfing and tons of other stuff that you can do while we're there on retreat. So if you're interested, let me know. I would love to talk to you more about it. March 9th through the 14th, 2021. So let's jump into yoga retreats. All right, I'm just going to read from my notes here. So the business of it. So the first question you want to ask yourself is why? Why am I wanting to host yoga retreats? Is this coming from ego? Is this coming from a good place? Or is it more, where is it coming from basically? There's a lot of business that goes to it, and it can't be forced. It really has to flow, and you have to be in alignment in order for things to work with ease. You can make things happen, you can force things, but from what I've found, when I am in the forcing and it has to be this and the, controlling mode, it's not enjoyable. And a retreat is a space that's supposed to feel good, and when it's forced, it does not feel good. So first, just checking yourself, why am I wanting to do this? Is it for selfish motives? Is it to make a ton of money, which you can do with hosting retreats? That's not my purpose in it. Is it just to go to these retreat centers yourself? Sure, there's some fringe benefits, but you have to check in with yourself. Like, what is the main reason I'm wanting to do this? And it should be a pure heart, like to just offer people a space where they can heal and, or, you know, learn whatever you're going to be presenting to them, or grow in some certain way. Or just maybe you feel led to do it and you're not really sure why, and that's okay too. Also want to ask, is there a need for the retreat that I'm offering? There's a lot of retreats out there, and if you're offering one on a certain subject, like check online, just Google, like, you know, whatever the topic is, retreat, and you might find some that are already out there. Maybe you want to attend one of those first and, you know, see what they do and what you would do differently and learn. But I think, to answer the question, is there a need for retreats? Right now, yeah, there's a need for retreats. People need a release and a time to step away. When I retreat myself, I come back just like such a better human and mother and wife and friend and daughter. Just, I'm better myself, and then that ripples out to everyone that I love. And when you when you go away to retreat, you kind of get this time to step out of all of your regular roles and obligations, and you're able, all that's left with, I mean, all that you're left with is, you know, you're not a mom, you're not, you know, whatever your career is, you're not this, you're just you. Everything's stripped away, and that's the beauty of it. It's so beautiful to just see people come together and be their true self, and maybe realize who that is for the first time, and maybe reconnect with their inner child. I mean, so much meaningful work can happen on retreat. But I say that, and you know, the real work usually happens when you get home. In my experience, and I learned this the hard way, when you get back, that's when the application starts. So anything that you learned or let go of or whatever during your retreat, you get home, and it's a stark contrast to who you were before you left. And that can be really difficult to maneuver. So that's my caution to you, to be prepared for that. It is important work. It's not to be avoided. Once you start the journey of a retreat, you have to follow through when you get back, and you have to see it through. You'll be better on the other side. Trust me. So it can be grueling to come down off that high. Usually retreats are pretty fun. And any resistance to coming down from that, any attachment to those experiences or moments that you had that were just so awesome or enlightening on your retreat, can really, if you're attached to those or you resist letting them pass and coming back to reality, your new reality, that will lead to suffering. And I just encourage you, as a retreat student and as a retreat leader, because you're going to learn things too. I was astounded how much benefit I gained when leading the retreat. I was not anticipating to have this kind of inner growth. I was just facilitating for other people to have that. But wow, I had several transformational experiences on my Costa Rica retreat in February. But you're going to have to ride out the wave. So that coming home and coming down, you're going to have to ride it out. It's a journey, and it ripples on, and it's there to enrich your life and the lives of your loved ones. So don't resist it. The retreat is not just the 1 week. It's more than that. So the different types of retreats, there's probably millions of different kinds of retreats that have been hosted over the course of time. And I mean, there's like self-improvement, just getaway, there's couples retreats, there's girls retreats, any theme or topic you could think of. I want you to gauge your audience. So if you own a yoga studio or you are a teacher and you throw out the idea of a retreat, see who's listening, see who's interested, and gauge the audience to see what they want to learn about. What can you bring to them? What are they lacking? Or what are you passionate about? You know, ask what the world needs, ask what your students need, but also ask what's making you come alive. there's a quote that's similar to that. It's like, the world needs people who are coming alive. I wish I knew the quote right offhand, but it's like, we don't need another retreat just for the sake of it. We need you to be alive and embodied and passionate and to share that. And then, you know, it's not up to you. That's the cool part. It's not up to you what anybody's going to learn on your retreat. Oops. Leave that to them and God or higher power or whatever you believe in. But that's the cool part, is you just do you, and you present and you do your work and you do it well, and then they're going to gain what they will. You can't force them to gain anything or interpret anything in a certain way. And that's how it is in real life too. Like, they're just going to take from it what they will. And that's the beauty of it, is that you can let go of that control and you can relax and flow through with ease, because you can trust that they're going to get exactly what they need, and so are you. Yeah, it's going to end up being such an incredible learning experience for you, especially your first time hosting a retreat. It's really beautiful. So who can, we did the why, that was why, and now who, anybody can go on retreat. That really depends on who you're catering it to. You could do an all girls, all men, all women. You know, you could do a certain age bracket, because, you know, as you go through the course of life, you're interested in different things, and you can kind of categorize people in certain groups generally. But there is something cool about having an age span. Like, I think that we're really lacking reverence for our elders in our generation, and I think that they have so much to teach us, and I think that we need to listen. And I think we also need to respect and listen to the young people. So there's something really beautiful happens when you do have an age range and people start to learn from each other and listen to each other. The young people can bring some youth and spontaneity and childlike joy to the older people, and the older people can bring some wisdom and some a different energy to the group. So yeah, where can you host a retreat? Anywhere. You could go camping, you could go to the Greek Isles, you could go to France, you could go to Florida, you could go anywhere. You could do it in your backyard. It just depends on the theme again. You know, you can hike in Utah, you can relax on the beach, you can just get away to like a local cabin for a weekend. Depends on the season, the theme, the people that are wanting to come. Before you announce a retreat, make sure you've got a couple of people interested, so that's kind of like some momentum to get you going. That's my advice. So check out retreat venues. There's so many that are just plug and chug. They provide all the food, all of the yoga mats, all of the, you know, props. They have a yoga studio. They have like Zen-like decorations. Like, there's places that are yoga retreats. You know, that's their main thing. And so if you can find a place like that, it really facilitates the whole planning process. You know, all you have to do is provide the content to your students for the retreat. Or you can do it yourself. You can rent an Airbnb. You can make all the food yourself. You know, it's just kind of what you want to do. You have the option to be the only facilitator of the whole retreat, or you can spread out the workload. So you can invite like a life coach, you can invite a meditation teacher, you can even invite another yoga teacher, so you can enjoy some yoga too while you're on retreat. You know, I'm gonna pause because I gotta tell you, it is so important for you to schedule free time where you're not on, where you can get away, regroup, recharge, because you're going to be holding energy for like, you know, 10 or 20 people or more. And that is really exhausting, especially if you have any kind of issues. So please make sure that you have your own space for your accommodations, that you schedule free time for yourself and that you're able to enjoy yourself. And it's also good for your students to have free time. So it's kind of this rhythm, like breathing in and breathing out. You want to come together to breathe in, like at a meal you'll eat and take in together, and then for the breathe out, a break to go walk on the beach or wherever you are. And then a breathe in would be a seminar together or a yoga class together. And then a breathe out would be free time. Kind of this flow of breathing in and breathing out. And you can explain that to them too. I think it's important for people to understand the rhythm of the retreat. That being said, don't make the schedule too rigid, and explain to them that, at least for me, I really like to allow time for things to just occur naturally and just kind of play out as they will. Kind of, again, takes away that sense of control and just allows things to develop and expand as they are going to. You set the stage, like you're facilitating it. You're making it easy. The word facilitate, it's like in Spanish, fácil means easy. So you're just making their retreat experience easy. You're not forcing any kind of experience on them. You're just providing, like, oh, there's a masseuse if you want a massage, or there's this, You could hire a chef. Oh yeah, and you could like trade. So like if a chef wanted to come, you could say, I'll trade, you can come and stay, your accommodations are covered, and you are in charge of the food. You might have to compensate them some too. Same thing for a masseuse or a life coach or anybody you bring on. Okay. Yeah, let me touch on that one more time. You really want to provide ample free time. I have been complimented on my retreat schedules by retreat sites where they see all manner of schedules from all different yoga and retreat leaders. And I was complimented because I trusted and I allowed more free time. It was scary because I didn't want people to be disappointed. They're paying for this big retreat and you want to give them a good retreat and you want to give them all this content. And I have a lot to offer and a lot I want to share. But they can't take it all in. You have to trust yourself and just do. It's more like less is more. And then just giving them that free time and those breaks, like a silent retreat or whatever, to soak it in. All right, what you need. Make sure you have terms and conditions and a waiver. Make sure that you have insurance. In addition to travel insurance and the, resort or hotel or wherever, in addition to their insurance, you need to make sure that you are covered for retreats. The terms and conditions, you can find models to use for free online and then customize it for yourself. Financials, so you can do a spreadsheet and do it yourself and take people's money like through PayPal or whatever, or you can hire a third-party ticket company like Ticket Sales and pay them a commission for when they sell a ticket. You're going to want welcome baskets and a welcome packet with like the schedule and house rules and things like that. And any supplies for any of your events. If you're preparing the food, you want to have as much of that done already beforehand as possible. Maybe think about a theme for your food. Maybe vegetarian, or maybe you want to do like a Latin theme or whatever. So be sure people have all the things they might need and try to be proactive and anticipate all of their needs. So how to host the retreat? I like to ask my students in the registration form, what are you most looking forward to in this retreat? And be sure that everybody's happy and their needs are met. You're the facilitator, so like I said, fácil, ease. You aren't creating their experience, you're just facilitating it. So making it easier for the shifts that are going to happen, for the work, for the aha moments, for the relaxation to occur. Take a load off, do your prep work, and then enjoy the journey with them. If you're not ready and you're scattered and stressed, they're going to feel that energy, and you are holding the energy for the whole group. So if a student is presenting frantic or negative energy, you need to shut it down right away and in a nice way. I always put in my house rules, you know, this is a place, it's a safe space, but it's also not like a dumping ground. So please be respectful. There's no gossip, and we're respecting everybody's journey. I've learned these things from other seasoned retreat leaders that have invested in me, so I hope that you take this to heart. Have a master spreadsheet with payment amounts, the method they use, the date, whether they signed the waiver or not, any diet needs or allergies. You can ask them that in the registration form. You want to have their emergency contact and any elected add-on activities or community service. You want to have that on hand during the retreat so that at any time if something were to happen, you know where they are, you know who to contact, all of those things. When you're planning the schedule, less is going to be more, and you just need to trust the process and allow ample time for the organic growth to happen. Don't force it. So yoga and meditation once a day, I think. It's better in the morning. And then you'll have the meals together, and then I like to have like a nighttime roundup or celebration, coming together to just share or having a group activity. Otherwise, you know, just allow each student to experience their own individual journey. You want to make sure you have those house rules and give the initiation at the beginning. That's important. Maybe a little ceremony or a little ritual is nice. You need to consider, are you going to allow alcohol? And if you do, you want to address that you don't want them to overdo anything with that. So make sure you address gossiping, no bad mouthing. Everybody's on their own journey, and you want to allow acceptance and space for that. If there is an issue, I always say, come to me. So you're the facilitator on the retreat. You are holding space, and it's really a sacred honor to create that space and that experience, and to watch it unfold and see how it helps your students. Okay, I'm going to have to end my video. Hold on one second. You sit right here with Willow while I finish it. Sit right here for one. Okay, my son woke up from his nap. So you are facilitating the retreat, so you get to watch it unfold and see how it helps your students to develop and expand their yoga practice. Let them develop into their own experience of the retreat. Also, like I said, you need quiet time. You need to decompress and process, regroup, and sometimes alter your plans. So approach things as they come, protect the space, and I'm going to finish this a little bit early. You want to cleanse your space before you go in, pray and prepare for it. This is some of life's most important work, as well as taking care of my children. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it was helpful for you. And I hope that you enjoy hosting retreats as much as I do. Namaste.